to the Carla Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, and always about all of the yarny goodness that I love. Hello to any new viewers, and a big hello and welcome back to any returning viewers and subscribers. I'm so happy to be able to sit down and podcast today, and I'm so thankful that you are following along on all of my yarny adventures. So today it's episode 97. We're getting so close to 100, and it is Thursday, May 30th, and I'm coming to you from my home in Nebraska. I feel like I've got lots to share today. We recently, just this past weekend, over Memorial Day weekend, there was a hat make-along going on in the Ravelry group for Carla Knits, so I'll be sharing about that. I have, in addition to a hat or two, I have some other finished objects, and then also I have some yarns to share as I'm thinking about summer sock camp right now. I'm getting into all of the fun, bright, or pastel colors, so I'm going to share those things with you as well. So we will get into it. Anything I talk about will be linked in the show notes down below. Places you can find me on social media, and links for patterns and all of that. If you don't see something, please feel free to ask a question in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer. Okay, we will get started. So first, we're going to talk about the hat make-along. So I was hosting a very, very informal hat make-along over Memorial Day weekend. So it was the Friday through the Monday, and this was to crochet or knit a hat. Over the weekend, there was no pressure to finish anything. This was just a very laid-back make along, just to have fun making a hat and chatting, and it really, really was fun. I think this is the first make along that I've hosted this year, and I gotta tell you, it was so fun to be back in the Ravelry group, commenting with all of you and talking with all of you. I have missed that, so thank you to those of you who have participated, and I'm going to share who participated in this make along. So there was Amy, Leslie, Elaine, Darcy, Kelly, Rosie, Brittany, Beth, Dorothy, Colleen, Heather, Dirta, and those are my, or you all are my YouTube Ravelry friends spread out, all over the United States, Canada, Germany, and then I had a couple of my friends from my knitting group here in town, so Joanne and Lois. So thank you all for participating. There were several people who finished a hat. Some people just wanted to chat about it, and that was great too. It was just so fun interacting with all of you. I'm going to share the finishes though. I think that's really fun to see. And I did want to say a big thank you. From the last episode, I had asked, what some of your favorite hat patterns were, and several of you did, comment with your favorite hat pattern or two. So I really appreciate that. I will say my Ravelry favorites continue to grow because I added most of those to my favorites. So thank you for the pattern recommendations, and I'll share the ones that were made in the group, and maybe you'll find something new that you would like to try. Leslie finished the Hopemade Squish Hat. I hope I'm saying that right. Let's see, Hopemade Simple Squish Hat, because that's one I made too. And she embroidered flowers on it, which I thought was really pretty. Kelly finished the March hat. Darcy of Chit Chat Knits cast on a new design, so it was really beautiful. So I bet that'll be a hat pattern somewhere down the road coming out. Dorothy finished the Kaya May. Colleen finished the Ardley hat. Heather finished the Traveler hat. Brittany, she did a hat, she cranked a hat on her circular knitting machine. So I think that was great too. So this make along wasn't for prizes or anything, so anything goes. It was great. So she did that on her circular knitting machine. And then Dirta made the I would say it as trellis hat, but it I think is French, so treillis or trellis. So you can laugh at my French, everybody. But that's what I would guess. So all of those hats were made. And there's still people working on some of their hats. So I think that is really fun. So thank you to all of you who participated. I am going to host another hat make along over Labor Day weekend. I just think that's a really fun thing to do. And I did post this, you know, this question in the group, but I will pose it to all of you too. Are there other short-term make-alongs that you would enjoy? It could be a month long, it could be a week long, it could be, you know, over a weekend, just, you know, something fun. So I did have one suggestion from the group, so that's in the hopper right now. So any short-term make-alongs that you would like to do or would like to participate in, that would be great to let me know. All right, so going on that hat knit along, I was able to complete 2 hats. And these are the first hats that I have knit in 2024. So it felt really good to knit a hat again. I really do enjoy hat knitting. I'm not sure why I haven't knit a hat. And I'm trying to think, I don't think I have a hat on my Make 9 board this year. At least I don't think so. So that's probably something that I'm going to be thinking about for next year's Make 9, maybe some more hat patterns. But I did the Hopemade Simple Squish Hat by Hope Vasseur. And I made these 2 hats. I will talk about this one first. So this is the first one I made. So this is a bulky weight hat. And it is a single ply, so it is a little fuzzy already. But this yarn is by Maker's Haven, who sadly no longer dies, but I really was a big fan of her yarn back in the day. The color is called Autumn Gold, and it really is a very pretty color. I don't know if I want to put it on or not, but sure. I'll go ahead, looking in the mirror here. So there is this hat. So just a really simple hat, but it feels really nice. And I think I am going to donate this maybe to our local homeless shelter in Lincoln, you know, towards the fall and winter time. And then the same pattern in this beautiful color. And both of these yarns have been in my stash for a while, especially the Maker's Haven yarn, for quite a while. This one is probably 2 to 3 years old. This yarn is by Brediculous Yarn, and it's a Hocus Pocus themed yarn Hocus Pocus, the movie, and it's I Smell Children. And I just think this is so beautiful and autumnal. You know, as I was knitting both of these, I'm just amazed at yarn dyers. I mean, this is incredible. This is fall in a hat. I mean, these colors are just incredible. So very happy to have knit those hats. I debated about starting a 3rd hat, but I thought, nope, 2 hats, 2 hats is good. So those are 2 of my finished objects for today. Then, just checking my hair, sorry. Then I have 2 finished pairs of socks, which you saw as half objects. I was trying to think, you saw as half objects in the last podcast. So the first is my Michigan Lakeshore socks by Dawn Frisk or Frisky. And I realized last time that you couldn't see the texture really well, so I had put a picture in. I'm gonna just see if I hold this a little closer, if you can see the beautiful texture. So, you know, mimicking the lakeshore of Michigan, those sandy beaches, and you know, you definitely have the movement of the waves. So I think These turned out really beautiful. I wanted some more solid color socks in my wardrobe, and if you've been here quite a while, I talk about Michigan a bit because that's where I grew up. Actually lived there till I was 29. So my heart has a special spot. I love Michigan. So these are my Lake Michigan socks. The yarn I used was Dye Mad Yarns in the Lake Michigan colorway. And I believe she's a dyer out of Ohio, and she did have a different, different colors for each of the Great Lakes. But of course I chose the Lake Michigan one. So very happy to have those done. It is a free pattern. It is written for a 72 stitch sock, but I cut out one of the repeats and I did it as a 60 stitch sock, and I did some adjusting of the pattern for that, but it wasn't too hard to do. But I like how they fit, and am really happy with my Michigan socks. Switching the other socks now to the blockers. My second pair of socks is the Pumpkin Patch Cabin socks, and I have to write this name down because I have called this so many different things in my mind. I call it Cozy Pumpkin Cable socks. Yeah, just so many different things. But these are the Pumpkin Patch Cabin socks by This Yellow Farmhouse. This is a paid for pattern. It's a worsted weight pattern, and hopefully you can see those beautiful cables. And I love this Tweety yarn. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the Burdock Heather colorway. So I don't know exactly how well the color reads on screen, but it's definitely a dusty brownish purple. And I did make these for a Christmas gift, so I'm already thinking a little bit about Christmas for this year. And stay tuned because we will be having that Christmas in July make along, which I think I've always called the Merry Make Along. So that will be coming up in another month. So that is my second pair of socks. These went really fast. The cabling is not hard. Being a worsted weight pair of socks, it goes really fast, and it's just fun to see how it grows so quickly. So I really enjoy that. That is the second time knitting that pattern, and it definitely will not be my last. And This Yellow Farmhouse has a couple other cable sock patterns for worsted weight, and I know one of the other ones is on my Make 9, so I hope to do that this year as well. And then I have a dishcloth. I should loosely participating in the Back Porch Fiber Company. I say that because I think I've posted on Instagram once. But I liked the idea of working through some of my cotton yarn. I have lots of leftover scraps. So I saw this on Instagram, and this was the knitter crocheter who made this was Fern Mama Makes, and that's her name on Instagram and on Ravelry, and that's Stephanie. Hi Stephanie. And she had used this pattern by Tony Lipsy, and it's the Sunrise Coaster. So this is a crochet pattern, and she had just expanded it to be a dishcloth, and I thought that was really fun. And you can see I like flowers. Yes, I love flowers. I love all things floral. And I think most of you probably can see that by most of the clothes I wear. But I thought this was just a really fun way to use up some dishcloth cotton. I have crocheted some other flower cloths in the past, but I thought I want to try this pattern. So it only expands the pattern by a couple of rows, maybe 3 additional rows, and it is a free pattern. This directs you to Tony Lipsy's website, but I really like that. I've pulled some more yarn out of my cotton drawers, and I will be hopefully crocheting some more of these this summer because I thought that was really fun to make. So thank you, Stephanie, for sharing your project on Instagram and on Ravelry. So you really inspired me to make that dishcloth, and that just took like one night, I mean, of doing it. So very, very quickly. Crochet goes really quickly. So that was super fun. All right, maybe this is going faster than I thought it would. So those are my finished objects for the episode. I have 2 whips or works in progress to share with you today. The first, let's see, is in this bag by Heidi West. I'm going to try to get better about sharing my bags. And this I took on vacation and knit a lot on. This is the Fiddly Bits Cowl. So I had knit it on the last podcast for vacation knitting. And then since then, I guess this is a significant amount. So from that little cat stitch marker, I have knit that much more. So I made a magic knot ball, and really fun seeing how the colors are changing again. I really, really love this. I just think this is so super fun. Yeah, I absolutely love this. And I could see, you know, making more knot balls and doing different magic knot balls and making more of these, because this is just super fun. Very, very simple. This is a pattern, I don't know if I said, by Jana Pahota. It is a free pattern, a great way to use up leftover yarns. You know, the pattern is in fingering weight, but you certainly could adjust your needle size and yarn size to make DK weight, worsted weight, bulky weight. I mean, you could have so much fun with this. You could put mohair in there. I just think this is just kind of a springboard for your creativity and just making this your own just fun cowl. So yep, I love this. I'm decently happy with the progress. You know, I mainly wanted to focus on finishing up the socks and then of course the hat make along, but that's some decent progress. Yeah, so excited to continue with that. We are going away this weekend, so there will be some car knitting, so that may I'm sure that will be one of my car knitting projects. All right, my other work in progress for this week is brand new, and this it kind of goes into summer sock camp. You know, I'm really excited. I've been seeing other people's yarns on Instagram, you know, all the things that you're choosing. And so just thinking about summer sock camp, I wanted some fun, bright colors or light colors. You can see I've been kind of in the dark colors, but just thinking about all of the bright colors. So I'm going to share this work in progress. I'm going to share some of the summer bags that I pulled out for, you know, summer knitting or crocheting, just kind of fun to switch up the project bags. And then I'm going to share some yarns that are kind of inspiring me. Also, sock patterns that I'm very interested in knitting for summer sock camp. So summer sock camp, it is just a big sock make-along. It's hosted by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. It is just, like I said, it's a big sock knit along. You can knit socks, you can chat about your sock knitting, your yarns, you can post pictures of your finished socks on Ravelry and on Instagram. It's just really fun thinking about, you know, that there's so many knitters or crocheters making socks this summer. So it's just kind of a fun knit along that a lot of people are participating in. So I put my project in this bag, and I really did not think about which bag it was with the yarn, and you'll see how well it matches. But I really like this bag, and I know it's not necessarily a summer themed bag, but it's those lighter colors, and I really like this bag because it looks like dime store items, things that you would have been able to purchase in a dime store many years ago. And I shared before that my grandpa doll used to own Doll's Dime Store in Spring Lake, Michigan. And so it just made me think of him. This bag is by Lila Lovely, and I know I got it on Etsy, but many years ago now. But the project, I mean, doesn't this just match perfectly? I mean, yeah, that's just crazy. So the sock that I am knitting, this is the Blossom sock, and it is by Deb Buckingham. And this is a paid for pattern, and it was a sock set of 3 different socks, very pretty lace or textured socks. So I chose the Blossom socks, which I'm going to insert the picture so you really see the patterning on the sock. But this is definitely the shortest of a shorty sock that I have made. So this little cuff, and then you go right into the heel flap and gusset. The shortest shorty sock I have made before, I usually do 10 to 12 rounds of a ribbing, and then I would do maybe 20 to 30 at the most of a leg, and then I would go into the rest of my foot. And for me, that was a shorty sock. So this is definitely the shortest of the shorties that I have made, and I just thought it would be fun to have some of these in my sock drawer. I don't know how well you can see the patterning on there, but it is a really sweet little floral texture, and this yarn is just so pretty. And I feel so bad because I do not remember who the dyer is for this yarn. I would say it's between Tippy Tree Yarns and Teeny Button Studio. It's one of those, but it is a Christmas themed yarn, that I do know. But it is just so pretty. You know me and my pink loving heart, and it's just got all of these gorgeous speckles in there, which I just love. It is a 16 row repeat. Hopefully that will share the texture a little better. It is a 16 row repeat, so I do have to pay attention, but there are just plain knitting rows between some of the things, so it's not bad. It's not hard at all, and it's really fun. You know, I'm done with the heel now, just working down the foot. So I think this summer I'm definitely going to be making, more shorties. I do want to see how I feel about this when it's complete, but I definitely think I'm going to make some shorties, some true short socks. So yes, that is my new work in progress. Just started a couple days ago. It's been really fun. I've taken that in the car and done some knitting on that when we just traveled, little distances. So I really love that. The mini as well, I don't remember, except that it is an Advent mini, but I could not tell you who from. So, but I really am enjoying that sock. So I will share some sock patterns that I'm really interested in knitting this summer. I don't know if I will knit them all. I am a slow sock knitter, and I've seen, people on Instagram just pulling tons and tons and tons of sock yarn. And if you can knit all those socks, that is incredible, and that is super exciting. But yeah, I just don't knit that fast. So I'm thinking, between 3 to 5 pairs of shorty socks for the summer would make me very happy. But the patterns that I am interested in, the Rose City Rollers, this pattern has been around for a long time. It's by Mara Catherine Briner. There are many projects on Ravelry, and it's a shorty sock, and it doesn't have your traditional ribbing. I think it's just stockinette, and it just kind of rolls a little bit. But I know it's been a very popular pattern, and I've never knit it before, so I think that would be just a fun little shorty to try. The Cake Pop Socks by Deb Buckingham. Again, the same designer who did this sock. So Cake Pop Socks, I just thought this was a really cute name, cute pairing of the yarn. I like the texture, so I'm really interested in that. So these are fingering weight socks so far. And then newly released pattern is the Afternoon Tea Socks by Carly Perrins. I saw on Instagram, Nitty Bitty Sisters, Yvonne was one of the test knitters, and I loved her sock. So Carly Perrins does toe up pattern and cuff down, so she's got you taken care of, whichever type of sock knitter you are. But the Afternoon Tea Socks was recently released, and I just think these are so pretty and so feminine. So you see a lot of texture. I'm interested in making a lot of textured socks right now. Then on to DK socks, the Anya Shorties, and again, it's a really pretty texture, but a DK weight sock, so it should go a little faster. And funny enough, Stephanie, who I saw her post on this, I had chosen this pattern and printed it off, and then I think it was last night I saw you're making these socks too. So we're kind of thinking alike, Stephanie. But the Anya Shorty socks, and then the other sock pattern, Matter About You Shorty socks. And I'm saying both of these now. They're both the same designer. It's Andrea Yetman for Biscuit Yarns. So both of those look like just a fun textured DK weight socks. And I'm really excited that DK weight socks, you know, more and more patterns are coming out for that weight of yarn. So now just some yarns that I have pulled from my stash. So I will kind of pick this up here and we'll go through these one by one. This, and I don't know, I haven't for sure paired anything with any of the sock patterns, so I'm simply going to share yarns that are kind of speaking to me. This is by Wildflower Yarn. So this is a UK dyer. So many years ago I ordered like 4 skeins of her yarn, just really pretty. This is called Birthday Cake, and that's really pretty. Yeah, so that's really fun. Then I have, this is called Sail Away, which I think is appropriate since Jeff and I have a sailboat that we go out on. And this is by Ruby and Roses. So I'm sharing the fingering weight ones right now. I have, this is a Christmas one, but this is Sassy Strings Sleigh Ride. But I love that bluish and the minty colors in there with those speckles. I just think that is fun. So it would make a very pretty Christmas sock too, but it might get used this summer. Some more fingering. I have this hedgehog. I don't have very much hedgehog yarn in my stash. I think I have 2, but this color is called Fly. I just love the bright neon greens in there, and those purple speckles are really fun. You can see I like neon speckles. That's really fun. I should have said this one was called Sleigh Ride. Sorry about that. Then this bright one has been in my stash for so long. And this is Knit Together Yarn. And I don't have a colorway name, but I just think that is so fun and so pretty. Yep, so bright. And then one fingering weight sock set, and this definitely does not go along with the bright colors, but this is a Maker's Haven 50. It's a 50 gram with a 20 gram mini, and I have several of her sock sets. So Maker's Haven, this is called Keeper of Nothing. So this would be a great shorty socks. And truly the shorty socks that I have, that I told you that I have made in the past, several of them were made with sock sets from hers, because she did sell those 50 50 gram plus a 20 gram sock set. So it just made some really cute shorties. But I thought this could be really nice for a little more toned down summer summer yarn. But I do have several of her sock sets still in my stash, so it might be time to knit another one up. Then moving into some DK weight yarn. Again, this is not typical, or not the bright colors, but, and it's kind of caked up horribly. I have had this yarn caked up for a while. I have talked about this before. This is by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, and it's based on the Friday Night Knitting Club by Kate Jacobs, which is a book that I have read many times, a series. It's a 3-book series. And so I think it would be really fun to knit this up. And I thought it might be fun at some point to share all of the knitting and crochet fiction books that I have read before. So if that is something that you would be interested in, I could talk a little bit about the book series, because I do have quite a few. So if that is something that you are interested in, you know, hearing about some yarn fiction books, anything related to yarn, knitting, or crocheting, let me know in the comments down below. I have this DK weight by Ruby and Roses, very similar to the other one. Very similar, but this is DK weight, and it is a Christmas one. It's called Mistletoe Mixer. But again, I guess just with the white and the speckles, I think this could be just a fun shorty slipper sock too. That one. And then the final one that I'll share is this. It's called Barbie Girl, and it is by Gypsy Soul Fibers. And it's a 50 gram DK weight and a 20 gram mini. So for DK weight, this has to be a shorty pair of socks, because I have a bigger foot, and that's it has to be shorty. So I love this color. This is probably going to be one of my first ones to get cast on, probably. The reason this one got cast on is because this was caked up, and I could see that happening because this is already caked up. But I love the bright colors in this. Yeah, so that is super fun. So, oh, and then I was gonna share just some project bags, or summer themed project bags that I pulled out. This is just a little notions pouch, and I do have a matching project bag, which I did forget to pull out, which is silly, which is just, you know, oops, a little girl catching fireflies. So I put in here all of my, and I know you won't be able to see this, but all of my, you know, summer themed, or kind of, yeah, summer themed stitch markers. And maybe I will take a picture of them and just share that in here. And then this cute bag, which has Summer Sock Camp pins on, I think is really fun. Nautical and beachy, also by Lila Lovely. Yeah. And then these bags I made. I did have a store on Etsy, but I don't have it any longer. But this cute little, you know, little swimming girls, I just think that's really fun. And then this bag has all things summery. I'll show that side. I just think that's so fun. It just reminds me of like summer, or going down to a boardwalk and just seeing all of the fun summer things. And then of course the mermaid kitties is really fun too. So I just pulled out some summer bags, and we'll put some projects in them as I continue to cast on some new things. So I think that brings us to the end of our episode. I would love to hear if you are participating in Summer Sock Camp or not. I would love to hear, you know, your favorite sock pattern, or it could be not shorty, it could be any sock pattern, your favorite sock pattern or if you have a shorty pair, you know, share that too. Are you knitting socks this summer? And has your knitting changed as we get into the warmer weather? Do you change the type of projects that you are working on? You know, the socks are always, you know, all year long I make socks, and that's such a nice lightweight project. So I guess I'm not thinking about sweaters right now. I'm going to take a little break from my blanket knitting just because it is getting warmer. But do you change your projects up in the summertime? All right. I would love to hear from you. So you can always write in the comments. You can join the chatter group on Ravelry. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. I should be putting out a video next week at some point recapping May, so May stats as far as what I did with my make nines and how much yarn I got out and brought in. So stay tuned for that next week. So take care. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.